going on, traders? Welcome back to a weekly recap. These are going to be the top five stocks that I traded this week. So let's begin with by going into Monday's top trades. So now Monday's top trades for me was BABA and Nvidia, but we'll go over BABA first. Um, so as you can see, what I was noticing before anything else, pre-market on BABA was a continuous uptrend. Every resistance level that it had was being broken out of. So it had a resistance here. It broke out. Resistance broke out here. Um, it created its morning resistance and it found a bounce. So this is where it bottomed out. Then we started having a curling up in BABA, found a higher support at a whole number, and then continued this uptrend. So now where I took my position on BABA was I actually missed the best trades, the most high probable trades on BABA this day. So I missed out on this trade. I missed out on this 213 breakout. Why is it a high probability trade? Well, it's a high probability trade because it's broken out of its morning resistance and now it's finding a higher support level. And as you can see, it went up tremendously. But getting into my trades, it created another resistance right here. So then this is where it was getting rejected over here. Finding a higher support level, as you can see, and then it's clearly in an uptrend. You can clearly see that. So I missed this trade actually, this first trade that I wanted to take, 213.50. Missed this trade, started to look for another trade, and as you can see, we were getting a series of higher lows right here and a resistance. So I got in at 214 with my stop loss of 20 cents. I got out for a profit of $167. So this is almost my 2R. 2R would be 40 cents, but I sold a little under 2R. So if I'm not mistaken, I took a partial on this candle and I let my shares pull back and then I let them ride, and then this is what caused me to finish up 164 on this trade. And I end up selling, I'm not too sure where, but I end up selling not too long after. Alright, but that was that trade. We're gonna go into Nvidia. So Nvidia on Monday. So Nvidia on Monday, we can clearly see Nvidia had a pre-market resistance, pre-market support level, and it was also trending up like BABA. So what I was noticing market open is we had a huge flush down. It found a support, and every time that it would try to crack under the support level, you could clearly see it's getting bought up. It's not closing under this support level, and every time it goes down, it gets bought up. So now I notice this rejection of our resistance. So now we're getting a bullish confirmation. This wick tried to come down, and then it immediately got bought up. Still closed in red, no big deal. Found a support at 351 on this candle, and then we immediately pushed to the upside. Um, Now where I took my position is when we found a higher support level. I wanted to take this at this 354 with a stop loss of $1.50. I got 20 cents spread. I mean, not 20 cents spread, but I got 20 cents slippage. And I actually got filled in 20 cents late. So now my stop was $1.70. And so this caused me not to get as much profit as I was looking for, but I ended up getting out for my 1-to-1. So my 1-to-1 was about $1.50. So I ended up taking a partial around this red candle. I noticed that the shares were dropping. We bounced off of this 355. All right, I liked it because 355 was acting as a support level, and I just wanted to see this have a continuation of the move. Once I noticed this crack under this 355 levels, I sold out of the rest of my shares with a $108 profit. And yep, so that was that on Nvidia on Monday. But Nvidia on Tuesday was also my trade of the day. So we can clearly see on Nvidia on Tuesday we had a resistance, support, and we're clearly getting higher, a series of higher lows. So we bottomed out here, pushed up, found a resistance, bottom out here, resistance, support. I took my first trade on Nvidia right here, somewhere around here, before 359. I had about a $2 stop, so I immediately got into profit. Was up about a $1.35, but it came down, finished only up $1, and then I waited for this opening candle. We got a push up, immediate rejection. Sold. I took a partial around this area. Once it cracked under this 359, and it still kept coming down, and I sold the rest of my shares around there, only finishing up like $30 probably. So I mean that was terrible management. I should have just sold into the squeeze, or just moved my stop to break even. That could have saved me. But then I got into Nvidia once again at 360, had a $2 stop. As you can see, my stop was clearly too wide in this case. It should have been about $1, or at least $1.50, at least to the bottom of this wick. But I had it too wide, and I end up selling for about a $80 profit. So if I was risking $2, I made almost $2 on my money. So I probably sold somewhere around here. Yeah, so we got rejected by this previous resistance line that I had put up. It started pulling back, and I just sold the rest out for right there. Didn't even hesitate to let shares ride or nothing. Because this was such a huge resistance on Nvidia that I was comfortable in selling out and getting back in at this 362 if it was gonna come back up. It never did, so that was fine. And all right, so finishing that trade up $123. Well, those two trades, but Thursday, AAPL. So Apple on so my Thursday trade of the day was Apple. As you can clearly see, Apple had a resistance from the other day at this 319.50 level. It was also getting some resistance at this 3916. So I had two options. I could enter at this break of the 3950 or the 31960. I decided to get in at 31960, just to clearly see Apple move up and over 319.50 with strength and have a clear move, clear buyers. Um, and so that's what led me to get in at this 319.60. Got in there, had a 50-cent stop, and I held through this pullback right here. Got a breakout. I had an average sell about there, so 80 cents. Didn't yet make my 2R, but I end up taking a partial somewhere around here. Once this candle was getting rejected, I was comfortable in selling, but then I moved my stop to break even, no, 320. So I moved my stop to 320. Was comfortable in letting this have about 10 cents to move around. It started wedging to the upside and immediately cracked. So this is where it ended up taking some of my profits. And yeah, so that was no big deal, but that was my Apple trade. Now, Friday was my mRNA trade. So mRNA, as you can see, had huge selling pressure the day before, and I was anticipating something like this market open. Um, so so as you can see, it was kind of setting up the way it was over here, kind of setting up, wedging, and it was topping out around here. So I decided to get into some shorts once this broke under its support level, its pre-market support. I got in at um this 69 break. I had about a 80-cent stop on this trade, and I only got about like 20 cents out of it. So I got up for only about like a $30 win. As you can see, my stop was way too big. I should have had it like around here, this previous support level. I could have got my 1-1 out of that. But this is hindsight 2020. This is just to see what I could do better in my trades, and it's not really to just like boost my ego or nothing. But I end up getting once again at this 68.70. I got in at 68.70. This time my stop was about 30 cents, and this is where I made most of my money. I got into my 101. I didn't have enough time to partial, so I waited for the opening candle. The opening candle had not pushed down one bit and ended up coming back up, so that's where I ended up selling the rest of my shares for a $96 win and 75 cents. So yep, these are the 5 trades, my top 5 trades of this week. I really, really hope you guys found this helpful. I really hope you guys learned something from this video. And if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll also be leaving my Discord down below. It's a community of like-minded individuals, people that are interested in the stock market. So if that interests you in any way, I'll be leaving the link down below. So I hope to see you there.